Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another channel update. I haven't done one of these in a very long time, so first things first, hope you all are doing well. Hopefully you guys are coping well with the weirdness that is 2020. But yeah, so with that said, this channel update is to bring you all up to speed and let you guys know what to expect on the channel coming up. However, before I get into anything, if you want a too long didn't read version, here we go. So for the month of September, the release schedule is changing a bit to accommodate a sort of a break that I'm going to be taking. Usually I release videos every Monday and Wednesday. However, in September, I will be releasing videos only on Mondays. And don't worry, those videos are all going to be Let's Dev episodes. So that is the short summary version. Instead of 2 videos per week, I will only be releasing 1 video per week. And starting back in October, we shall go back to the normal schedule of a video on Monday and a video on Wednesday. Now, if you would like to know more details as to the reason for this little change or what to expect in the content coming up for the month, stay tuned. If not, there you go. That's the short version. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in that content, or maybe next month if 1 video per week doesn't suit your fancy. Regardless, let's get into some details here. So first, I'll just quickly go over why I'm doing this. It's a bit of a complicated issue, but for those of you who are maybe more new to the channel and don't know, I do these YouTube videos as a hobby. So I pretty much try to get them done in my free time, which means I get maybe a handful of hours per week to get these videos done. And life outside of this channel is a pretty rough struggle as is, and to be frank, 2020 has honestly made that struggle much more difficult. And to put it as basic as possible, as a result, I feel like the anxieties of real life has sort of been pushing me in a weird direction when it comes to the content that I make for the channel. And I never want it to feel like that. I never want to feel like I'm obligated to do any type of content or anything of the sort where I just feel like I'm not in it 100%, you know? And not to say that we've reached that point, but I feel myself reaching that point. And so I think that it's probably a good idea to maybe take a sort of a short break. Not to mention that I've been making videos for a very long time now, and on a consistent basis, and the only times I have ever taken any sort of quote-unquote break was because of hardware issues. So this will probably be the first time where I'm just going to completely just let my batteries reset and come back hopefully fully charged. So that is really the main reason that I am taking a quote-unquote break from the content creation process, if you will, for the month of September. And the reason I'm taking it in September anyway is because if you've been part of the channel, you know that from October to December, it gets incredibly crazy, not only on the channel, but for my personal life. You know, things get very insane around that time. So if I was going to take any kind of break, it was going to have to be now. So basically, that's just the way things ended up turning out. Now, as for the content that you can expect this month, let's talk about that a bit, because there's a funny story attached to this whole thing. So the plan was always to make sure that you guys have Let's Dev content in the meantime. That was never a second guess for me, because I know you guys love that content and I want to provide it for you guys. But in terms of what I wanted to cover, that went through at least 2 iterations before I've decided on the final plan here. And that's because there was a hell of a monkey wrench thrown into my whole thing. So originally the plan was to focus on 4 main projects and just, you know, get an episode per project out just to cover bases. However, GameMaker finally decided to release the 2.3 update. The update I have been waiting a ridiculous amount of months for, just salivating at the thought of this thing releasing, and it finally got released out of beta, full release. And so I decided, okay, so maybe this is a sign. Maybe instead of doing previous projects, this would be a great time for me to, maybe what I'll do is create a series for the month of me learning how to use 2.3's new features. I mean, that sounded like a pretty solid idea. So I download the update as usual, and it breaks on me. And I won't necessarily go into the details because it was a weird situation. But yeah, the update broke GameMaker for me, and I couldn't use the program anymore. So I had to contact Yo-Yo Games, and of course, due to the whole, pandemic situation, the response was much longer than I guess normal. So it ended up taking me roughly 2 days to get the situation worked out. The good news was, however, between the correspondence with Yo-Yo Games, I was able to at least downgrade back to 2.25, so we were back to working on GameMaker in some capacity, so I could still actually get the episodes done. Like originally, I was like, oh man, I need to do an update video, and if I can't get GameMaker working again, I'm gonna be like, well, there are no videos for the month of September because I can't get GameMaker working, but luckily that wasn't the case. So because 2.3 has finally been released, I felt like just doing 4 videos in 4 previous projects, it's cool, but I think we could do something more fun than that. So instead, what we're going to do for the month of September is we're going to celebrate the end of an era, so to speak. Before we jump into GameMaker 2.3, we're going to make one final project from start to finish in GameMaker 2.25, and that'll be the videos for September. So we're going to start from scratch, and we're going to go as far as a completion version of some sort. So yeah, that will in fact be the content for September. And again, once September is over and we're into October, I will be back in full force with content every Monday and Wednesday. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the content that I have scheduled for you guys, and fingers crossed that my break goes fine and nothing else goes wrong. I'm pretty sure everything will be fine. I'm honestly gonna poke around in 2.3 on my break anyway, so it's gonna be a kind of a break, but not really, sadly enough, because I mean I've been waiting for 2.3 for a long time anyway, so it's gonna be fun to at least get familiar with it before I just jump back into content anyway. So this probably works out for the best anyway. So with that said, I'm still actually editing those Let's Devs, so I should probably wrap this up. Once again, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hope you guys are coping with the weirdness of 2020 in your own ways. And once again, thank you to everyone who has supported this channel, whether you're new or old. I always appreciate it. And until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys when I see ya. Woo, awkward way to end it. Take care of yourselves, guys.